good evening, everybody. Are you guys there in the comments? Say hello so I know who's watching and let me know what you're drinking tonight. Are you having tea? Are you having wine? Are you having a beer? What kind of drink are you having tonight? Let me know in the comment section. So today I promised to get started with letting you guys know some of my best tips for building your social media brand online. So we actually have a great case study today. Miss Lana Del Rey has done some very interesting and effective things on social media. And we can kind of use what she's done as a case study. So if you guys don't know, Lana Del Rey is a singer-songwriter, and today she made a very controversial post on her Instagram. So she knows that her biggest following is on Instagram, and that's the first lesson. Know where your audience is. So she knows that her biggest following is on Instagram. She's got millions of followers on Instagram, so she went there. So she made a note and screenshotted it, and that's the best way to share text to Instagram if you're wanting to do that, because people don't always read what's in the caption. And she also tagged people. So she didn't necessarily actually tag them, but she mentioned in her post Doja Cat, Beyonce, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Ariana Grande, Camila Cabello, and a bunch of other, popular artists. And the things she said were very controversial. So tons, and I say dozens of thousands of people flooded to the page to put their input in. The post got shared to Facebook, to Twitter. It's all over the place. The artists that she mentioned came and gave their input. Now, I will not actually talk about the content of the message because I don't want to get into that today. But the lesson here is that she, 1, followed her audience, 2, mentioned other people that were relevant, and 3, wasn't afraid to share her opinion. Now that all of the controversy and all that attention is on her, she capitalized on that by announcing her 2 books that are coming out and her new album. So that's my little case study for social media. Follow your audience, tag other people that are relevant, and capitalize on controversy. All right, so we got some comments coming in. Randy says he's drinking Land Sharks. Cheers. Cheers. And Siobhan says, hey girl, hey. Hey Siobhan. I haven't got any comments in from YouTube yet. Are you guys there, YouTube? Say hello. Don't leave me hanging. Now, YouTube seems quiet right now. I'm just going to... Ooh, Rhapsody's drinking peppermint tea. That's an excellent choice. Very healthy choice. Peppermint tea is great for if you have any stomach problems or anything like that. Okay. Okay, so today I'm going to be using this Neutrogena Hydrating 100% hydrogel mask with hyaluronic acid. Instantly quenches skin, deeply hydrates, and leaves skin supple and hydrated. It's a sheet mask. They're pretty affordable. You can get them pretty much anywhere. Amazon, Walmart, Shoppers Drug Mart. They're all over the place. Aggie says, whoa, look at you with your auto captioning. Yeah, Aggie, trying to keep it accessible here. I don't know how accurate the auto captions are, but I am making a little bit of an effort. Siobhan says, ooh, let me go put a mask on too. One sec. Did you just wash your face? Yes, Siobhan, I just washed my face and I can feel the moisture evaporating out of it. So I need to make sure I don't completely dry out because I'll turn into a zombie on screen. Ooh, look at this. Okay, wait a second. I didn't read the instructions. I should read the instructions. Okay. 1, cleanse your face with cleanser. Done. Peel white film backing from the mask sheet and discard. Place hydrogel down on face and leave on for 15 minutes. Remove the mask and massage remaining product onto face and neck. Okay, so let's try this. I don't know if this is the top part or the bottom part, but we're all in it together. Okay, I think this part goes on my mouth. Okay. Here we go. Am I supposed to put it on my face first, or who knows how to use this? You guys, I'm lost in the sauce. I'm trying my best. What the heck? You guys, oh. Oh my god. Okay, this is great. I feel like Hannibal Lecter. Aggie says the captions are very accurate. Girl, these are the Facebook auto captions. They're pretty good. But when I upload like little sound clips and stuff, then I check the captions using AutoCap and adjust them if I need to. Wall Session says, "Hey, hope you're having a good day." I am having a great day, and I hope you are as well. Sam says, "Hey, babe." Hi, Sam. I hope you're well. We're just doing some skincare and letting people roll in. And then we're going to start on some Ask Anja questions nice and early today, because there's going to be some doozies, you guys. Okay, hold on a second. Whoa. Okay, I am definitely Hannibal Lecter at this point. It's cool that they have these little flaps on it. So if you actually wanted to like do your mouth and your eye area as well, you could. It's quite nice and premium. All right, we're going to get started on Ask Anja, but before we do, I wanted to ask you guys, what are your recommendations for what to watch on your streaming services? What are you watching on Netflix or Amazon Video or Crave or Hayu or wherever you like to watch things online? Because I'm running out of things. The quarantine has me running out of things to watch. And let's get started with some questions. We're going to get started early because we have a lot of questions today. If you ever want to send me a question, I usually post the links online on my Instagram stories or on my Facebook feed or on Twitter. So you just click there. It's completely anonymous. I won't know who you are at all. And you can send me questions about anything: life, your life, my life, cosplay, burlesque, performing in general, romance, anything. I've gotten some wild questions, and I hope that they get wilder, honestly. So if you have a crazy dilemma happening in your life, please send it to me. I would love to hear about it. Ooh, Cells and Work and Pop Team Epic are on Netflix now. Interesting. But Sam, what are you watching specifically? Because I need stuff to watch. I was thinking of trying that Hollywood show on Netflix because it looks very aesthetic and I like cute things. So I was thinking of giving that a try next. I just watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is directed by Quentin Tarantino, and I can't really give it a favorable review. It took 3 hours of my life to watch, and it was boring. And not only was it boring, it just seemed like it was an excuse to just use a bunch of racial slurs. Like, it was weird. Like, did anyone else watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Okay, let's see what the people are saying. Carla says, "Hey y'all, I've been watching Critical Role on Geek and Sundry YouTube. Oh, YouTube is sometimes the best entertainment. I can watch YouTube for hours because it's niche content and people are producing it themselves, and there's so many interesting things on YouTube. Like this show." So Siobhan says Hollywood is super slow. Oh, great. I want to try White Lines. What's White Lines about? I've never actually heard about that. Midnight Gospel on Netflix. Okay, I gotta find out what these shows are about. White Lines. Zoe Walker leaves her quiet life behind to investigate her brother's disappearance in Ibiza, where she quickly heads down a decadent and dangerous path. Oh, that kind of White Lines. I understand. I understand. I overstand, in fact. Randy says, yay, D&D. Yes, D&D references keep popping up. Sam's been watching Supernatural. I've never really tried Supernatural. I used to have a roommate that was like obsessed with Supernatural, and there's kind of like the trifecta of Doctor Who, which I obviously love, and Supernatural and Sherlock, and I love Doctor Who and Sherlock, so maybe I should try Supernatural because I'd probably love it too. And yes, Sweet Magnolias has major Gilmore Girls vibes. Foot fetish flick. And I, ooh. Siobhan says, you need to get caught up on 90 Day Fiancé. That I do. I actually really do need to get caught up on 90 Day Fiancé. Yeah, Carla says, I kept waiting for something to happen in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I wanted to like it, but I just couldn't. I was watching the whole movie like, okay, those are very nice crow's feet on Leonardo DiCaprio. He looks good with a tan, but what is the purpose of this movie? Like the whole time I was like, why am I watching? Why is this 3 hours long? Why? 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 What kind of movies are 3 hours long? Lord of the Rings could be 3 hours long. Avengers, Infinity War could be 3 hours long. There was no reason for that movie to be 3 hours long. Sorry, Quentin Tarantino, like some of your work, but that one wasn't it for me. Yes, White Line is some girl trying to find her brother. Yes, what's it? Super Hulock. That's it. That's what the trifecta is called. Oh, listen, I love Dracula, Frankenstein, etc. I love my Victorian horror. Oh, I wish I were a vampire. I wish. Hey girl, hey, hi Tavia. It's good to see you. It's nice to meet you today. Digitally. Yeah, every single Leonardo DiCaprio movie. But you know what? I like Romeo and Juliet. That one still holds up, I think, in my opinion. All right, let's get started on some questions, you guys. We have some light questions today. I actually took a peek at the questions just so we could pace ourselves well. Oh, just kidding. My phone is not cooperating. So I'm going to pull up the questions on my computer. And read them there for you guys. So just bear with me. So who was here last week and saw some of the questions? Because these questions are getting increasingly crazy, and that's the energy that I want. I want them to keep getting crazier. Oh, right. And it's now 8:16, and I'm going to peel off this mask. Oh, this feels amazing, you guys. Highly recommend. Oh, I look a lot better too. Welcome to Pajama Party. Is Venus Snatch Trap, and she is back today. She wrote me back, you guys. Venus was not done. She has more for us today, but we will get to that. Oh, right. All right, so first question today is from Dawn of the New Day. Dawn of a New Day, and she's asking, who are your inspirations? So my inspirations are constantly evolving, but one of my biggest inspirations has always been Oprah, because I grew up watching Oprah on TV, and she was the first African American billionaire in the United States of America. And contextually, that is an extremely difficult thing to accomplish, especially during the era that Oprah was born and grew up, and the things that she went through, like reading her biographies. She lived a very, very tumultuous life at the beginning and has managed to make the most of it possible. And I really respect her for that. And I think, she's fun. I also would say one of my inspirations is Issa Rae. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Issa Rae, but she's the showrunner for the show Insecure on HBO. And I was first exposed to Issa probably in my teens, maybe 10 years ago. So 14, 15. And one of my friends was like, you've got to watch this girl Issa on YouTube. She's so funny. And so I was a teenager. Issa was about the same age that I am now. And she was making this funny series called Awkward Black Girl on YouTube. And it was really special for me because I hadn't ever seen someone that looked like me in a leading role in something that wasn't about being black. So I've seen people that look like me in movies about slavery, and that's not fun to watch. But she was just like, I am a black girl, and these are my adventures and going to work and dating and life. And it was self-produced. It had a shaky camcorder. It was completely self-written, and there was no budget, but it was really nice to watch and really fun. And now it's amazing to see her 10 years later being a showrunner of one of the most popular shows on HBO, which is really kind of a continuation of Awkward Black Girl in Insecure. And every single time I see the amazing ways that she builds relationships between characters, and the storytelling and the cinematography and the little references that people outside of a certain culture wouldn't understand. I'm so impressed and inspired by the fact that she just decided she was going to do this thing, picked up her camcorder and started doing it on YouTube with her friends. And of course, we all dream of, reaching this amazing height, but she took the first step and now she's super successful. So I think she's an inspiration, and she makes me want to work on my art a little bit every day, even if I can't see the path to where I want to be. Tavia says, yes. Carla says, I found out about her through two dope queens and immediately started watching Insecure. Insecure is my show. Every Sunday, I make myself dinner, get a glass of wine, get all geared up, pull up Twitter on my phone to watch Insecure. That show is amazing and crazy and touching and heartbreaking and beautiful and funny, and it's amazing. And then there's so many amazing, beautiful Black and Latin people on the show. It's amazing. Siobhan says, I just washed my face. Tonight's mask is Sephora Collection Charcoal Sheet Mask. I haven't tried that one yet, but if I can get my hands on one, maybe I'll wear it at an upcoming pajama party. Sam says I'll have to give Insecure a watch. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And Tavia says, yes, sis, do it. Okay. That was a nice, easy question. Thanks, Dawn of a New Day. All right, next question is coming from someone who is a they, them, asking me, what's your favorite song from Not So Secret fans? So, favorite song? That's hard to say because I love music so much and I have so many emotions. But if I think of a song that has stuck with me my entire life, that I love to listen to, that I love to dance to, and I love to sing, there's one that comes to mind. But I want you guys to guess it. Okay? I'll sing it, and you guys can guess in the comments what the song is called. It's really not that hard to guess, but... Our hearts are ringing in the key that our souls are singing. As we dance in the night, remember how the souls are the stars away. I messed up the words at the end there. I think it's how the stars stole the night away. That's it. So our hearts are ringing in the key that our souls are singing. As we dance in the night, remember how the stars stole the night away. Guess in the comments which song that is. Can you figure it out? All right. While you guys guess, I'm going to move on to the next question. All right. All right. The moment we've been waiting for. She, her. Okay. It's your girl, Venus. I tried to apologize to my neighbor. Actually, because we have some new people... I'm going to have to go back and give you guys a recap on Miss Venus Snatch Trap. She wrote in last week because she wanted to know if she was pregnant and what should she do. Yes, you know what? This was water, but I might have to pour the water out and make it into wine like Jesus did. Because, woo! Okay, Miss Venus Snatch Trap wrote in last week because she broke quarantine to go hang out with her neighbor. And by hang out, I mean lie down with. And after they did the deed, she realized that he was not still wearing a condom. So she threw him out of the house, suspecting that he had removed it during coitus. A few days later, yes, I said a few days. A few days later, she found the condom inside of her and wrote to me to ask, what does she do? And could she be pregnant? So I told her, you should call up your neighbor and apologize for the accusations. And then you should make an appointment with your pro-choice doctor. So Venus has now heard that advice on Tuesday and she's written back. Okay, so now that we're all caught up, we are going to hear Venus's response. Okay, Venus says, it's your girl Venus. I tried to apologize to my neighbor. Let's call him Sal the Stallion. Because he should have come with a saddle, if you get my drift, girl. And he's blocked my number. Should I airdrop him a clip from our night together to get his attention? I'm not sure he knows he was on camera, so ... From Venus Snatch Trap. Yeah, I gotta change the little frame here. Venus. I'm glad you took my advice and tried to apologize to Sal the Stallion. But he's blocked your number for, we can't blame him for having blocked your number because you did yell at him when you thought he had taken the condom off. So we can't hold that against him. You, about the clip. Venus. My darling. Thanks for writing in. You cannot film people without their permission, especially in a situation. You can't do it, Venus. Okay, so first thing first, okay? After the chat, you gotta go right now. Actually, right now, do it. Go open up your phone, please. Take your phone and delete the clip. Delete it. Delete it from the cloud. Delete it from the trash can. Delete all traces of it. Okay? Delete it now. That's first. Secondly, you could write him a note. Okay? So this is what we're going to do. First, we're going to delete all traces of that video that you should never have taken in the first place. If you're interested in that sort of thing, there's gotta be consent, okay? You can't just be filming people without their permission or their knowledge. That's not right, okay? Now, Sam, it appears he was not aware he was being filmed. Keith says plot twist, yes. Venus, please keep writing into the show because your life is very interesting, Venus, and it's making great content for me. But sweetheart, you got to delete that video. And that's why he blocked you. Cause he probably figured out that you might be a little volatile. You know, you yelled at him. You also didn't find the condom for a few days. And I was trying to unpack that because you really should be going to the washroom afterward every single time. You know, that's a note from my gynecologist. Okay. So next time, first of all, if you want to film, ask. Most people are going to say no, but ask because it's not nice. And now that he's blocked you, you could leave him a note. Okay. You know where he lives. He's your neighbor. So you could leave him a little note, slip it under the door, and then never contact him again. Okay. He has your number. If he wants to unblock you, he will do. But after you leave him a note saying, hey, I apologize. I didn't mean to yell at you for the situation before. And please do not try to pick it up again. Okay, Venus, you need to read some books, maybe the Bible, maybe a self-help book. I don't know, whatever your preference is, but maybe you should read something and stay in quarantine instead of trying to break quarantine, getting yourself into trouble, but still go see that doctor, especially that pro-choice doctor, because you're making choices. Aggie's like, what the heck? Aggie, welcome to Pyjama Party, honey, where the letters come in. We don't know what they're going to say. Carla says, you can't record someone without their permission. If he finds out, he has even more reason to block you. Yes, Miss Venus, snatch trap. Your choices lately. But keep writing into the show because you're great. Sam says, don't be that person, Venus. Delete it. It's not okay to film folks without their consent. Aggie says, handwritten apology with no expectation of a response. He has no obligation to forgive you. Exactly. So Venus, write a little note. Say, hey, I'm sorry that I yelled at you for what happened before. I don't know what's going on with me lately. I've been making some questionable choices. I'm sorry if I upset you. I didn't mean to hurt you. And write that letter, slip it under the door, and never contact him again unless he contacts you first. But he really doesn't need to talk to you. I'm sorry. You gotta do some yoga, listen to an audiobook, something else, please, to occupy your time. Sam says you want to avoid them UTIs, so you gotta go to the washroom, okay? After, have a little pee. It's good for you, okay? That's what the doctor said, not me, okay? The doctor told me that. You're drinking cola, Aggie. I had to drink something stronger because When Miss Venus Snatch Trap appeared, it was crazy. Okie dokie. This is from another she, her, okay? And it's quite a paragraph that I have in front of me. So I'm going to read it for you guys, okay? So here's the deal. I'm super sex positive. All for people's right to do what they want with their bodies. But I'm struggling with my roommate. We've lived together for 2 years now, and in the past year, after a bad breakup, she started doing cam work, which is fine, except she's aggressively loud. I'm talking, she's spanking herself with a paddle and screaming daddy at all hours. A paddle she used my Prime account for, and using common areas for her shows. She left a suction cup dildo on the dishwasher. I guess the vibrations were doing something for her, I don't know. And the next day, I was FaceTiming my father and had to try and explain it. How do I get her to chill out? I've talked to her before, and she's told me that I'm not supportive, and if it bothers me so much, she could make more money in less time if I joined her. I just want to be able to FaceTime people without having to worry about it getting not safe for work. Help. From Dishwasher Dramatica. I gotta take the cap off of my cup, honestly, because this is the kind of stuff y'all writing in about. Dishwasher Dramatica. First of all, great name. I love the alliteration. Rolls off the tongue. Very, very nicely done. I too am sex positive, you know. It's great. I do agree. People have the right to do what they want with their bodies, but they do not have the right to disrupt other people's lives. Okay. No problem with the cam work. The aggressively loud part, you know, I would feel like you need to address that. So she's spanking herself with a paddle that she used your Prime account for. Okay, first of all, if you let her use her Prime account, that has nothing to do with me. Okay, so I can't help you there. But she's got herself a paddle, and she's screaming daddy at all hours. Maybe you should have a roommate agreement. Okay, so you guys sit down, have a couple drinks, and you guys can talk about, hey, you know, I support you in your cam work, you know, but perhaps we could limit the hours of the day that you film, you know, because not all cam work is live. So you could, you know, film the clips during a certain hour of the day and then, you know, send them to the clients or whatever. But she really can't be, you know, screaming daddy at all hours, because what if you had a Zoom call with your work, you know, and she's out there in the other room talking about, I'm a bad girl. We can't have that. So boundaries are important. So sit down in a neutral space, maybe even bring a friend as a mediator, and have a talk about it when everybody's in a good mood. Make an agreement and lay out rules. As for using the common areas, that's not fair, because the common areas are for everybody's use and enjoyment. You can't enjoy watching an episode of 90 Day Fiancé in the living room if she's, you know, double stuffing on the camera right beside you, you know, because that's not fair. It's not fair. So maybe make a rule like you can use your room within these hours and you can use the bathroom on these rare hours, okay? She's just dead wrong for leaving the suction cup dildo on the dishwasher, okay? That's not right, okay? Aggie said, no, she needs to respect the common areas, okay? It's possible to do cam work with roommates, done it before, but like use music and stuff. Oh my God. Dishwasher Dramatica is not the messy one. Dishwasher Dramatica is just trying to live her life the best that she can. Now, it seemed like your roommate might be trying to manipulate you a little bit, because just because you don't want to hear her at all hours of the day or have her beside you while you're cooking chicken breasts does not mean, you don't want her showing her breasts while you're cooking chicken breasts. That doesn't mean you're not a supportive friend. That just means you don't want to participate in her work. And that's okay. Don't let her make you feel like you're not being supportive. Boundaries does not mean you're not being supportive. And I think that's the most important thing here. And I would say for you, just in case, if she's not trustworthy, just double check all the rooms before you do something like FaceTime your dad or go on a Zoom call. Yeah, so Sam says, if you don't like it, why don't you join? That's shady and that is manipulative because of course she's doing it for money. We all need money to survive, okay? But you don't have to join. You don't have to participate. No. You're already being supportive by, being non-judgmental and whatever. You do not have to join in that, okay? Because she also seemed like she might be taking things too far. Aggie says, no, she needs to respect the common spaces. Yes, okay, we read that comment. Carla says, roommate needs to respect common space. Yes. She can't use the dishwasher. Listen, okay, this is what you do. I don't advocate destruction of personal property, okay? But you can be petty, okay? So if you find that dildo on the dishwasher again, get yourself a nice little glove or a plastic bag and just snatch it, okay? Hide it somewhere. Do that. And if she is using her computer, yeah, Aggie, the delay is a couple minutes. If she's using the computer or, she's doing her filming and she's making too much noise, this is what you do. You get your Bluetooth speaker, okay? And you put it next to her door and you play on maximum volume the most unsexy thing that you can play. When I was in university, my roommates and I used to prank call people, okay? We prank call people all the time. We would find thirsty guys and we would prank call them. So once they started, getting to talking about crazy stuff, we would pull up a sermon on YouTube and put the phone next to the computer so that they could hear the Southern pastor yelling, "Those sinners will go to hell." So, I'm not saying that's, true or false or whatever, but it's not very sexy. So if she's using her cam equipment and making inappropriate noises at an inappropriate hour, you just pull up and you find the most unsexy thing you could pull up, Donald Trump's commencement speech, a sermon, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, and you play it on max volume to make sure her mic picks that up. Sometimes that's what you gotta do. You gotta be petty. And he's dying. Advice from True Showgirl, guys. All right, let's see. What do you guys think about Miss Dishwasher Dramatica? I'm going to move on to the next question. Dueling banjos. Great idea. Just find the most unsexy audio you can find and put it up there. Okie dokie. Oh, this one is very, very, very scandalous. Oh, that's a great idea, Sam. Sam says you could change the Wi-Fi password. Yes, so you had that roommate agreement made up and she's not abiding by it. Not only could you hide her dildos, you could also change the Wi-Fi password. By the way, do you guys like my sippy cup? It's me all over the cup. My faces. And it says, True Showgirl. Ah, Carla, great answer. If she uses the common areas, she pays you for it. That that's great. Then everybody benefits. Commerce. I like that idea. I only had 2 made, but I'm going to have more made because I think they're cute. It has a straw too, but I haven't been using the straw because it's wine in here. And I feel like if I have a straw and wine, it's going to be a different kind of party. This party already crazy, so it's going to be a different kind of party if I got the straw in there. I'm not selling stickers yet, but that's a great idea, and I will look into that for sure. I will see if I can get the cups going, guys, and we'll see if we can get some stickers as well. Thank you. Yeah, I commissioned an artist to help me. Like, I created the character, and, well, I'm sure those of you who know me know that these are my facial expressions. And I sent in pictures of me, and so she made this little girl, and, of course, my little pajama party baby. All right, we got a good question coming up. So, everybody, I hope you have a refill. This one is going to be good. This one says, she, her, okay? And they want to ask Anja, my man's mother won't let me in her house because I called her a see you next Tuesday on Twitter after she kicked me out when she caught me giving him head. She was supposed to be at work. He says it's my own fault. What do I do? Thanks, Alexandre. Yeah, buckle up, kids is right. Thank you. I mean, I didn't draw all of it. Like, I created the character and then I had a real artist, like, help me because your girl has many talents, but drawing is not one of them. All right, so you guys leave me in the comments your ideas about what Miss Salami Goddess should do. And I'll give you my opinion. So, if you call me a see you next Tuesday, I wouldn't let you into my house either, okay? So you already have 2 transgressions, okay? You've violated her baby boy in her house. And then you called her see you next Tuesday on Twitter. So, of course, she's not going to let you in her house, Miss Salami Goddess. But that doesn't mean that this relationship cannot be repaired, okay? You need to take down first that tweet that's calling her a see you next Tuesday. And then you need to apologize. And you can't just say, hey, boyfriend's mom, I'm sorry for calling you a see you next Tuesday. You've got to show that you're sorry and do some sort of action. So maybe bring her some flowers, maybe not something edible because she probably don't trust you, but flowers or a gift certificate or something, and say, I've made some choices in the past that I've moved on from, and I'm sorry that I called you see you next Tuesday, and I'm sorry that you caught your son and I doing inappropriate activities. We're young and in love, so things do happen. We thought you were at work at the time. We never meant for you to see that. And see if you can gradually repair the relationship. Okay? Yeah, Carla says formal apology to his mom. A nice apology with some flowers or something like that. Benji says, why is mom even lurking on Twitter though? Snoopy. I mean, we don't know exactly the situation because Salami Goddess just said she called her that on Twitter. I don't know if Miss Salami Goddess tagged her because she could have, put that little @ symbol at boyfriend's mom. So we don't know exactly the situation, how the mom found it on Twitter or if she was snooping or whatever, how she found out. So all we can do is move forward at this situation, apologize, try to explain yourself, and then give it time for her to eventually see a different side of you. Because at this point, she's only seen the back of your head when you're on your knees, and we need her to see the other aspects of your personality, and maybe over time she'll grow to like you. You didn't show a really good aspect when you called her "see you next Tuesday" on Twitter, but Salami Goddess, if you got a boyfriend, that means there's got to be other positive qualities about you, so let the mother see that. And then in the future, when she lets you back into her house, make sure you did not get caught. Benji says, damn, Mama Bear can't just be happy her son is getting some. Nobody wants to see that, though. Aggie says, people's moms be on Twitter. They do. Aggie says, my mom has me blocked on Twitter. You know what? That's a good idea. I should block my parents on Twitter. What do you guys think about Miss Salami Goddess? Why does the boyfriend say is her fault they both got caught? Wasn't the mom young at some point in her life? Actually, Randy, you bring up a good point. So Salami Goddess did mention in her letter that her boyfriend says it's my own fault. Now, going on Twitter and calling the boyfriend's mom a "see you next Tuesday," that was entirely within her control. That is her fault. But getting caught in the act was not just her fault, because there's multiple participants in that activity. So it's not, I feel like the boyfriend does have some responsibility to try to reason with his mother, because obviously he didn't get kicked out of the house. And right, so just the existence of the boyfriend, just the pure him existing in the world, if he is the mother's biological child, shows that at one point in her life, she too was participating in extracurricular activities. Okie dokie. We have another question coming up. Actually, before we do another question, I want to ask you guys, out of Venus Snatch Trap, Dishwasher Dramatica, and what was the last one? Salami Goddess. Who do you think is the wildest letter that I've received tonight? Sam says, that's why I suggested she dumped him, lol. Specifically that comment of blaming Salami. It takes two. Exactly. She couldn't do that by herself. That's a completely different activity. So he's not cool for blaming her. But I'm going to interpret it as potentially maybe he's blaming her not for getting caught in the act, but he's blaming her for what happened on Twitter. So Carla thinks Venus is the wildest story. Aggie thinks it's dishwasher. I think that, Venus just needs a bit more. Venus sounds like, she's going through some things in her life. Venus, please stay on the show. Please keep writing in. We need to check up on you, okay? So don't be discouraged. You're doing great. I'm glad that you tried to apologize from Tuesday. Today, write that apology letter and make sure you delete that video. Venus, I know you're trying your best. I think the wildest story is Dishwasher Dramatica. But Salami Goddess has a huge role to play in what's going on. You have some personal responsibilities, Salami Goddess. Wall Session says Venus. Sam says dishwasher. I don't know why I can't say that word. Dishwasher 100%. Who even thinks of that? I mean, the washing machine for decades has been a standby. So I feel like the dishwasher is not that far away from a washing machine. You know what I mean? Randy says Venus. The saga continues. Yes, Venus. Please write into us again. All right, so we have an interesting question that I want you guys to participate in. This is a would you rather question. So this is sent by they, them. Would you rather have as much sex as you want, but you pee a little every time your man pulls out, or only be able to get off on a Dr. Phil fetish where your man wears a Dr. Phil mask and lip syncs to Dr. Phil quotes? Okay, show's over. This letter has been from Inquiring Minds. Okay, Inquiring Minds. I don't know how you came up with that. But perhaps you yourself have a Dr. Phil fetish, and as a host of this show, it's not my place to kink shame. This is a safe space. I would say I would rather pee a little, because I feel like, you know, with certain medical conditions or after having children, you know, or at a particular age, that might happen anyway. So I would say peeing a little is not so bad. I feel like that's manageable. You just put down some waterproof sheets and you're okay. The Dr. Phil thing, I feel like that only be able to get off on a Dr. Phil fetish where your man wears a Dr. Phil mask and lip syncs to Dr. Phil quotes. Yeah, that can't work. That can't work. I'm sorry. If that happened, I would immediately become a nun. I would be celibate. I can't. I'm sorry. Let's see what you guys say. Alex says Dr. Phil is lit. I mean, I do like Dr. Phil, but not in that way and not that much. I like watching his show, but only in the daytime, in the light. I don't like it that way. Randy says, is it too much to ask for both? I'm just going to replace my face with this face because what? Sam says, not to be that guy, but not everyone has sex with men. That's true. So let's rephrase this. If your partner had to wear a Dr. Phil mask, Dr. Phil is basically a daddy, so let's not shame. Well, I said I'm not going to kick shame, okay? It's not, as the host of this show, I want you guys to feel safe. I'm not going to kink shame you. But personally, for me, Dr. Phil is not the daddy I'm looking for. Thank you. Man has bank. He can keep it. That's not the daddy I'm in the market for. Thank you very much. Wall session says the doc is in it. That's great. Peeing a little, just exactly, like, who knows, after, you know, push out a couple kids or something, you know, or you have a surgery or anything, maybe you get a little older, who cares? Peeing is part of life, okay? Dr. Phil is not a necessary part of my sex life. Thank you. Carla says, that would be a lot to ask of a partner. I can't imagine having to always have to go with a single fetish every time. Yeah, that would be a lot of stress. Be like, you know, anniversary night. Like, I got a new Dr. Phil mask printed out. I don't know about that one. But thank you for writing, Inquiring Minds. Great would you rather. And I hope you write again on our next show on Tuesday. All right, let's see. Oh, this one is nice. This is from him, our first boy of the day. He says, how did you get to be so gorgeous? And what are some of your favorite skincare products? All right. From Obviously Enamored. How did I get to be so gorgeous? Puberty and braces. Thank you. Um, yes. Also letting my skin clear up. When I was a teenager, I had really, really bad skin. Like I had acne all on the sides of my face and it scarred. So even after the pimples disappeared, the scars remained, and it was so bad that the skin was like super gross and all thick and purple. It was really bad, and I ended up getting a prescription to help clear it up. And then around the time I was like 16 years old, I discovered I couldn't eat dairy anymore. So basically, when I stopped eating dairy, my skin cleared up, and now I generally have good skin. I like to take care of it though. I like Pond's products. I like Caudalie. I like Drunk Elephant. I like the Neutrogena masks. I like to try things around. I just try to avoid products with really harsh chemicals. Like my skin doesn't do well with like peeling stuff or anything like that. My skin does really well with moisture and physical exfoliation and kind of natural clays and things like that. Thank you for writing. Obviously Enamored. What do you guys use for skincare? Braces looks like it's a daily torture. Yes, it is. And I had Invisalign, so every time, like every 2 weeks, they would give me the new trays, and I'd have to like take them out and then put on the new tray. And even if I like numbed my mouth or whatever, or like got past putting the tray in, the first time I took it out and my teeth started to move back, it hurt. And then when I had to put the tray back in, it hurt again. But Invisalign does work. It works. My teeth were all over the place, and now they look great. Benji says, no dairy. I'm suddenly okay with my skin. Yeah, no dairy. Sam says, the blood of my enemies. Honestly, like, due to quarantine, I've been running low on the blood of my enemies, but Neutrogena has been filling in the gaps. Thanks, Neutrogena. All right, this question is from They Them. Oh, okay. This is a cute question. What is a way you would recommend approaching your squish to try to form a deeper bond, especially during these times of social distancing? From Ace of Hearts. Okay, so Ace of Hearts, I'm judging by first your name, Ace of Hearts, and your use of the word squish, that you may be asexual. I apologize if I'm wrong, but those seem like two hints to me. And you want to form a deeper bond with your squish. A squish, for those of you at home that are not understanding that terminology, is someone whom which you are drawn to, and not necessarily in a sexual or romantic manner, but the thought of them makes you feel excited and tingly, and you want to be around that person. So Ace of Hearts wants to get closer and form more of a deeper bond with their squish, but you can't hang out right now because it's social distancing. So Ace, you didn't provide me a ton of information, so I don't know if you're already friends with this person or not, but I'm assuming you'll have access to this person on social media. So first thing I don't recommend is just going through and liking every single post this person has done and filling up their notifications like that or anything like that. I would say find a common interest that you have if you're already friends, or if you're part of some similar social group, something like that. Maybe you both like memes. I think memes are a great way to bond with people. Maybe start off by sending them a message and saying, hey, I saw this meme and I thought of you. And that's a good way to kick off the conversation, because your squish will either see it and be like, whoa, this is too much. And they might be like, not respond. Or they might say, hey, cool, thanks. Or they might start up a conversation with you and send you a meme back. And if you guys are having daily conversations, that opens it up to build from there. So I would say use the meme. So if you have common interests with your squish and your friends on social media, send them a meme and say, hey, I saw this and I thought of you. And I think that's a great opener for conversation, because if that person doesn't really want to talk to you, they have an out not to talk to you and there's no harm done. But if they do want to talk to you, the opening is there. So I hope that helps, Ace of Hearts. What do you guys think? What advice do you have for Ace of Hearts? So in terms of... Aggie says, I could have written this question, but I didn't. And Alexandra was talking about, skincare, using the same things for... Aggie says, memes work. It's true. Yes, I think memes are a great way to open up a conversation with someone that you're interested in without putting too much pressure on that person. And of course, right now, you can't exactly go on dates because all the restaurants are closed, all the things are closed. You're definitely not going to run into this person by accident. So you have to be intentional about your interactions with them. And I think sending a meme works. If the conversation picks up and you guys are talking all the time, maybe at that point escalate it to say, hey, I love chatting with you. Would you be interested in chatting on the phone sometime? Or having a video chat or playing a game, if maybe you guys both play video games or something like that, and building experiences off of that. But the first thing you have to do is open the door and see if your squish wants to walk through. 10-minute review says, love the PJs. Thank you. I feel very fuzzy and pink today. Watching movie over Zoom is great. Shervon and I have been doing platonic, but still we've been doing our dates because we used to hang out all the time before the quarantine, and now we haven't been able to hang out. So we've been syncing up our Netflix and being on video chat with each other while we eat snacks and make commentary on low budget Netflix movies, and it's been really fun. Benji says, pull a Venus and airdrop them, but just like candid shots of Kristen Cavallari every 20 minutes from an anonymous phone. So when you ask them about their day, they have something to talk about. That's very specific, Benji. I don't know if I can co-sign that, but thank you for your input, Benji. Aggie says, Benji, please know that I want to laugh react that, but I cannot figure that out right now. I will laugh react for you, Aggie. It's so specific. Like, Benji, have you done that before? Are you trying to tell us something? Sam says, my girlfriend and I played Battleship over FaceTime. It was super fun. We also do a lot of movie dates. Yes, there are ways to interact with people during the time of social distancing. You've just got to be creative. Alexandre says, video game date. Yep, good laughs. Aggie says, yes, play Animal Crossing together and visit each other's islands. That's super cute. I wish I had Animal Crossing. Benji says, I mean, you can use any celebrity. Imagine, like, I just get airdropped, like, a ton of pictures of Chris Evans or something. That would be weird, and I would have something to talk about. That's true. But it's also a little creepy. Carlos says, I just stabbed myself with my sewing, laughing so much. All right, guys, we have our last question of the day. And this one is from a they, them, and they ask me, what musical artist's music do you associate with summer? From your neighborhood Rita Ora stan. I would say Jack Johnson. I'm a huge Jack Johnson fan, and his music reminds me of being on a beach or being in nature, camping, and he's got those gentle guitar melodies, and I definitely think about summertime whenever I hear his music. It makes me want to be outdoors. I was actually supposed to see Jack Johnson this summer, but due to COVID reasons, I will not be seeing Jack Johnson because Blues Fest is canceled. But what about you guys? What musical artist music do you associate with summer? Randy goes back to the last question and says, patience is key during a quarantine. Understand your feelings too and try to communicate with that loved one is a great way to build bonds in this time. I agree, Randy. Great answer. So what about you guys? What musical artists' music do you associate with the summertime? Aggie says, one time in the chat for all the canceled concerts. Yeah, pour one out for all the canceled concerts. Wall Session says, yes, Jack Johnson is dope. Honestly, one of my favorites since the first exposure I had to Jack Johnson is like my neighbor asked me to go see the Curious George movie because we were part of like the screener audience because we were kids. So they screened it for us in Toronto and we got to like fill out a little survey. And the entire soundtrack of the Curious George movie was Jack Johnson. And I was like, I love the music. And then later that week, I was at Walmart with my parents and I saw the album cover with Curious George on it. And I picked it up and it said Jack Johnson and Friends. And that was the beginning of a love of Jack Johnson for the rest of my life. Keith says, Ludacris, because that's what I did in my 20s when I had loud, ignorant speakers in my car in the summer. Keith, that's about to be me this summer. I'm going to be pulling open the sunroof, rolling down the windows, and rolling down like, ho, who's a ho? Oh, that song, Move, Get Out the Way. Ludacris made music to play at an ignorant level of sound in your car. That's why he made music. That's his contribution to humanity. Burna Boy, yeah, that would make sense. That's definitely summer jams. Makes me feel like I'm sitting on the patio, drinking cocktails. Harry Styles, yes, definitely, especially the most recent album makes me think of summertime for sure. And Harry Styles is one of my favorite boy pop stars right now. I think he's just so gentle and pretty, and I appreciate him. Benji says, honestly, Rita Ora does deliver summer bops, and she does. So, your neighborhood Rita Ora stan, you are right. Alexandre says, Childish Gambino makes him think of summer, and Zara Lawson would be Benji's. Most 90s Canadian rock, i.e. what I listened to at camp and festivals as a teen. Yeah, it's really interesting when you're a teenager that you start to kind of develop a sense of music, and there's songs that I read somewhere, I don't remember where it was, I think it was Criminal Minds, to be honest. The music that you listen to when you're 14 years old is the most significant music in your life because that's when you're starting to find your own identity and your own musical interests aside from your parents. And so at age 14, what you're drawn to is kind of where you're deciding your identity is going as an adult. Keith says, oh no, the fight's out. It's mandatory to know those lyrics and sing along. Rage Against the Machine. Yes, Rage Against the Machine is also great, but they do not make me think of summertime. They make me think of the clubs. Carla says, Blue Rodeo, Tragically Hip, Headstone, Spirit of the West, Hayden. Yes, that's very, very, very Canadian, Carla. Benji says, unless you're a hashtag gay, then add a few years on. Lol. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You might have to push it back a little bit. But I think I knew where I was going at age 14. I was like into Jack Johnson. I was into Muse a lot. I was very, very into the Beatles. Panic at the Disco. So I knew I was going to be a weirdo at that age. I already knew that I was weird. Sam says, is that why I'm still so emo? You were already emo, and emo was in your identity. So when you heard the red jumpsuit apparatus, it just spoke to your soul. That's all. That's all. Well, I think we're out of time for today. Thank you all for being a part of Pyjama Party yet again. This is amazing. It's only episode 2, so the show is still getting shaped up. Please join me on my social media. I'm True Show Girl on basically everything. And thank you so much to everybody that subscribed to my YouTube channel. On Tuesday, I complained that I had 4 subscribers. And today, I have 16. So please, please, please continue to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That will make me very happy. Share all True Showgirl stuff on social media. We got to take over. And make sure you come back on Tuesday at 8 p.m. for the next pajama party. I have now gone through all of the anonymous letters in my inbox, so make sure you go and follow the links that I'm going to post and submit your anonymous questions and letters. You can send anything from dilemmas you're facing in your life to questions about me, questions about your life, anything related to cosplay or burlesque or social media, or you can just send in would you rather games and things like that. So thank you all for being here, and good night.